everybody, it's Shelby again. Today I'm going to show you how to make pendants using air dry clay and your stamps. I have a few stamps that I use for inking purposes, but most of my stamps are used for clay. That probably horrifies card making people. But anyway, we're going to use I use the DOS modeling clay. It's white. I love this stuff. This is also non-toxic. This particular clay, you can just, you wash your hands in the sink and it can go down as long as you're not dropping chunks down there. And since I'm going to be showing you later on how to make a couple things out of studio clay, I just want to say now that when you're doing studio clay, you need to keep a bucket in your sink with water in it that you wash your hands and tools on, and then dump it outside. I dump mine outside in the driveway. Don't dump it in the grass or in your flower beds or anything like that. Dump it on cement. But you don't want it going down the sink. This stuff will be alright as long as it's just washing your hands. Don't wash huge chunks of it or anything down the sink. Anyways, like I said, it's also non-toxic. So even if you don't have professional tools, you can use something from the kitchen. Sharp knife. This is something I found at a thrift store. It's a letter opener. Works just fine for my clay. But since this is non-toxic, you can actually use stuff from your kitchen and then just wash it off real good. When you're finished with it, it should be fine. I'm just going to cut a piece of clay off. Put this away. And I'm going to take some. This is almost like, I don't know if you've ever made your own paper clay or, well, paper mache is kind of like this, but it has a weird paper texture to it. It's mixed with vegetable oil and other organic materials. Yeah, I like to read ingredients of stuff because, I won't buy anything with yucky ingredients. Anyway, so I'm going to roll it around a little bit in my hand. And this is kind of dry, so it's been sitting there for a little bit. I tend to just add water like so onto my hands and squish it around. And that will reconstitute it. Yeah, I need to use up what I have because if you let this sit too long, it will dry out. And I have not had any luck reconstituting a completely dry air dry clay. Anyways, so we're just going to swish this a little more with our hands, add a little bit more water. There we go. And so, like if any of you have taken my studio clay classes, we are going to take our rolling pin. Now I want to say something to you about the tools that you use if you are going to designate clay tools. Wash your tools in between different clay. Well, you should wash your tools anyway, but wash your tools in between different clays. I use a K1 sculpture clay, and I use this, and then I also use an Amico air dry modeling clay. And you don't want those to mix, even little particles on your tools. So wash them all in between different clays. All right, and then I am going to just roll this little piece of clay up. See, it looks like a pancake. If you get a hair in there, you take one of your tools. You'll need something pointy, like a pen tool or anything that will. I'm going to show you how to make a couple beads too. So I have these little turkey pins, I guess that's what we call them. And I'm going to use this to make holes in the beads that I'm going to show you. But you'll need some sharp tools. I also need have something like an X-Acto. This one was a cheapie from Harbor Freight and Tool. It came in a kit, actually. I've got several different sizes in there for, I think it was $4. And then these, of course, these are actual studio clay tools. These are to make holes. There's another one, but it went down the sink when I was in school, and I was never able to retrieve it. So, but you can make holes with even bamboo skewers, or here the end of a paintbrush. Just be careful you don't split the clay at the top, but we'll get there in a minute. So I've been messing around with this, and here I'm going to roll it just a little bit more. Hopefully I used enough clay here, because what I want to do, and I've used this on clay for ornaments for Artshop, and this cute little bunny turns out really well. But we will see how it turns out here. And you will press. You don't want to press so hard that it cuts through, because it can cut through. Hey, look at that bunny. Now, of course, the cool thing about air dry clay is I don't have to go to the kiln with these, and that's a good thing, because I don't own one yet personally, because I will. So if I want to do something fun and I want to satisfy my urgency for something to be finished, because studio clay can't do that, then I will play with the air dry clay. Well, you're going to want to cut it, trim the edges. I know it's like crooked. That's okay. We will get that taken care of. If you see the bunny. There's the bunny. Very cute. However, we do have to take some water, dip your fingers, and keep a bowl of water next to you. Keep a bowl, or anything that will hold water next to you, so you can smooth things out. And once you get them smoothed out, see how that just the thing is too that once this dries, you can use a light sandpaper and go around and sand down the edges if they're misshapen and rough, but right now we just kind of, right here, if you see, bunny lost the line a little bit on the bunny's butt right there. Well, I'm going to use, this is a tiny clay tool. I have a set of these, and then I have a bigger set. I'll show you the difference. These are the ones you do with small detail in. These are the ones you do bigger detail. So I have a set of each of these, and they work really well for just surface detail and cleaning up and maybe getting back your bunny butt line. Be careful though, because they do tend to go right through sometimes. So anyway, so we've got a little bit of awkward shape going on here. That's okay. And you can sand all this down once it's completely dry. Now I have a whole setup over here where right next to me is my clay drying rack. It's those huge plastic 4-shelf things that you put together yourself, with some handmade wooden racks on it that I leave things on to dry. However, you can put this guy, put your pendant on some newsprint paper, even regular newspaper, anything like that to let it dry. I would definitely suggest like a newspaper kind of thing, because like plastic, whatever, your back is not going to dry all the way. Okay, I'm fiddling with this shape. But I'm going to have to let it go until it dries, and then I will figure it out. Alright, so there's the bunny. Now I have the hole making tools. You can see that they make nice clean holes. You can use other things though, as I said, but this, ta-da! I mean, if you're really into making pendants, oh, don't worry about that, see? Zoop, there we go. Then you can purchase those, actually at our, probably online, yes, but I always tell people to buy at Runyon's, because that's the ceramicists and potters and sculptors candy store. It's in Clio, and I know they're doing curbside and shipping right now, so thank goodness, because I might run out of clay before all this is over, and that's not a very good thing. I'll mess with that shape later, but there we have a bunny, and once he's dry, I let him sit. At least, you know, at least till I wake up tomorrow morning, sometime during the day tomorrow. Not necessarily 24 hours, but, you know, long enough for them to sit. But right now, I'm just going to set him off to the side. So, now, and that's all you do. Like, you just, you know, I've got things that I save that I use to cut out shapes. For instance, there's this, even though it's got these things on it, that also makes a really cool, you can also make a really cool shape there, but I would use something like this to, you know, make, if you want it as round as you can get it, I would save things that are different shapes in order to do this with, instead of fiddling around like with that last shape I was doing. But now that's too dry. So now I'm going to pull a piece of this off, and I'm going to attempt to show you how to make a bead. You can stamp these beads. You can use the little stampers. Now you use big stampers on it too. So here I'm making an oval, a flat circle. I mean, what do we call that? A plane? Ugh, I forget all that stuff from, oh no, from school. There we go. It fell on the floor. It's just fine. Thought there might be a dog hair in there somewhere, but it'll be all right. Anyway, so that's this is a smaller piece. So you know what I also do is I save pine cones and these cool things. Now you have to thank the squirrels for these, because these are walnut shells, and they only do this after they've been buried and dug up again. So these particular things, I mean, if you have a walnut tree in your yard, you'll find them easily, but I didn't when I lived in the apartments, and I only found like 3 of these because there was just no walnut tree there, and I don't even know where they got them. Maybe the forest behind the woods behind the apartments, but I save a lot of things to make marks in my clay. Definitely thread spools. Here are some cheap plastic thimbles that you can see I've been using them because they're dirty. What else? Well, I have these also. Thank the squirrels again, because they've chewed these down. That makes a fun thing. And then I bought a whole set of these Chinese zodiac stamps at the convention a couple years ago. But today, oh yes, and then you have the very cool acorn top. Oh, we can do this. push that in a little bit to get all those. You see this? Now you can see that it left. You might be able to glue something in there after it dries. You can glue stuff to this after they dry. Mess with it. Then you can paint this. I would paint this a solid color, and then maybe take a little paint and do a dry brush across it, so you're just painting on the bumps, bringing the bumps up, making them. It'll look almost metallic. Now I'm going to put an actual hanging hole in it. This one, well, if we're doing bead, I'm going to go through, not a hanging hole, but the threading hole. And this one is, ooh, you know what? That would be cool if you could actually see. There we go. And I don't think that you can see it so well on my camera, but you can actually see that go through, which is neat, because you could thread it and then bring it up, put a bead on it, and then thread it through the other side, and then you'll have a bead right there. That would be very cool too, which is a good idea. So I think I'll make more of these and do that. I don't make basic jewelry anymore, but I've been really itching to make some large clay jewelry. They call it statement, right? Statement stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, I call it handmade. So yeah, then there's your hole. I actually would make it bigger than this, because you even with air dry clay, it still dries, and when it dries, that hole is going to shrink. Bead will only shrink a little bit, but the hole will shrink, and you won't be able to get a cord through there, which I like to use hemp. So I'm going to pull out another. These were on some cheap plastic things, and I pulled them off, and I saved the handles from other tools, and yeah, that's what I do. And so, okay, there, because when it shrinks, it's going to take away a lot of that. Aha, this is better for me. Yes, that's better. See that? Yeah. You can't really see through it in the camera. Oh, wait, maybe you can. There we go. Wait. Aha, see it right there. So it's much bigger now. If it shrinks, I'll be able to at least get the hemp through there. Sorry, I'm pulling this out of the camera range. But yes, so there you go with that. And I have another way to do these. You can make these also into ornaments. You don't have to hang them as a necklace. You can put these anywhere. You can hang them as ornaments. You can actually, you have to make this a little bit wider and a little thicker, but you could do the stamp and then cut the bunny out somehow. You know what? I'm gonna figure that out. I still don't like the way the butt is doing this thing. So there we go. Got the butt out of there again. Okay, guys. Well, that is my brief. Here, look at this. Here, there. Okay, that makes it really cool. Now, if you do that all the way around, it's awesome. And this does this. And that's a cool. I did 3 different pieces. I did 3 ceramic cups all the way around like this, and it looks like wood. And then, here, sure. Let's do this on the other side. Ta-da! So there. Now you know how I make some of my marks on my clay. Anyway, All right, guys. That was fun. Look at my hand. It's great. Oh, and yeah, this is what I mean by, do you see it? There is clay in here. I would dig out the bigger pieces unless it'll, you know what I mean? It looks like it will disintegrate there. But just make sure, because you really don't want this stuff clogging up your sinks. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I have more to come, so bye, be safe, have a good day.